Let's welcome in Karni Seymour-Brown. Say hello to the world, Karni.
Hello, world. Welcome to my place.
We are here in Ventura, California, and there are no coincidences. There are no accidents. I was driving down the street a few weeks ago, and I saw this amazing building that just pulled my interest. And when I looked at the sign, it said Sunrise Birthing Center. Ah! We're going to get into that in a little bit, but first, what's our song, Karni?
How about Aquarius?
Aquarius! Wow, that's an oldie but a goodie. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Wasn't that sweet? That was really sweet. So here we are at your birthing center, where, you're a midwife.
Correct.
How did that come about?
It's a long story, but it started with the birth of my first son over 40 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So you had a midwife. Did you have a midwife?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, 2 times. Both my children.
Now, did your mom, did she have a birth midwife or?
No, just it was spirit led. I was I was a single mom. I was very uneducated, but people were put in my life at that time that led me where it was supposed to go. Truthfully, I wasn't a visionary. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a career choice to be a midwife. It was very organic and very spirit-led to be on this path and journey that I couldn't feel more blessed.
The pictures, if I could show you guys some of the pictures, I was getting something to set up, and I see a baby coming out. There's a picture of a baby actually being born. It's like mind-blowing. A midwife is something that, for me, I saw on the TV, something way back. And so there was a transition for us as people that people moved from a midwife to the hospital, because it was supposed to be safer, better, stronger. And for you to have the experience yourself having a midwife, what was that like for you?
It changed my life.
Wow.
It normalized birth. It gave me the support of not just what's needed at a birth in terms of, assessing the woman and the baby and making sure that physiologically everything is safe. It gave me the emotional, the psychological, the spiritual, the connection to keep my baby close and to form that bond.
Wow.
That I wouldn't have gotten from a physician.
Now, as a midwife,
Yes.
Are there certain things I would imagine you'd have to know about the anatomy?
Sure. No, midwives, we're well trained. We do everything a physician's office would do.
Really?
An OBGYN's office would do. Prenatal blood work, prenatal visits, blood pressure, heart rate, assessment of the baby's growth and position,
Oh,
and
wow.
ultrasounds, and we are the primary care in a normal, low risk, healthy pregnancy. And we collaborate with physicians.
I was going to ask, yeah.
If we need to have an expert or a second opinion, and occasionally we have to transfer a woman out to a physician, we're aware of those landmarks, the difference between low risk and high risk, and when to do that.
Oh, that's just amazing. So, this is the kind of thing that, how do you tell your friends, hey, I'm a midwife. Here's my card.
No, I don't. They find me. People are open now, and they're researching, with the internet.
Right.
And they see that there's an aspect in a hospital birth that's lacking to really, create that love circle, that safe, comfortable, peaceful, private atmosphere, the ambiance, the birth cave. Women, when you look at animals,
cave. I like that. The birth cave.
That's what we create.
Wow.
During the actual labor, it's like a birth cave, and it's very sacred. And they can be and do and feel and express in the safety of the location, whether at home or at a birthing center, with midwives, their assistants, who are safely monitoring, assessing, and watching, and taking care and keeping them in a safe zone.
So wait a minute. Did I hear you mention at home they could actually have the baby at their own home?
Absolutely. Home is normal.
Wow.
Home is where birth started from the beginning of time. The hospital is the alternative. And there are still many European countries where women are initially, you start your care with a midwife, you plan your birth at home, that's the normal. You are only referred and transferred to a physician, OBGYN, should your midwife direct you there because your pregnancy becomes high risk and needs to occur in a hospital. So birth is normally occurred at home.
Wow.
Remember, hospitals have only been up and running for 125 years?
This is what, I hadn't thought about that.
It was birth all over the world occurred. The women in the villages, whether they were licensed,
wasn't no stupid license.
But they were women. They were.
Right.
It was a craft. It was a.
Yes.
It was a skill that was handed down and passed on, and you knew when you got pregnant who you went to, and those women took care of you all through your labor and birth and postpartum, and the men were the gatherers, the protectors, and the women took care of you. And it wasn't until physicians became a little bit of physicians got busy and had to be in the hospital to do multiple births. They quit attending births at home, and then birth became a business in the hospital. Yeah. And then there was insurance that dictated how everything occurred. And so it's evolved and changed, but initially women have always, since the beginning of time, taken care of, nurtured, and protected women in labor and birth.
That's really true. I mean, so accustomed to a hospital being the place that this seemed as though like this was something new, but we didn't have hospitals for. Now you said.
And let me just add, I appreciate and greatly utilize a hospital when it's needed.
Absolutely.
So we love the physicians that are open to the midwives and work with us, and we're grateful and so thankful to be able to transfer to the hospital and utilize that technology and skill and expertise when it's needed. It's just needed in such a small percentage.
Wow.
So we want to save that and use that intervention and technology when it's medically appropriate.
That's so beautiful. You mentioned insurance.
Yeah.
How does that work with midwives? Do you accept insurance?
Well,
Is it?
Thank goodness. With the licensing of the licensed midwives in 1993, 1996, insurance companies are slowly reimbursing, and they are covering some of the birth center fees.
That's
and
awesome.
They're covering just the same as if you had an out-of-network provider.
Okay.
They cover at that level, and depending on your deductible. But yes, we are getting third-party reimbursement.
That's beautiful.
And that's fantastic because these women pay for their insurance, and they should have the right to choose the practitioner, the location, where and with whom and how they want to give birth.
That's absolutely. I have to say this. I hope that you can feel it. But Karni has such a sense of peace about her. If I were pregnant, I would just feel like, oh, you really do. I mean, it's just so calming. It's just, and this center that we're sitting in right now, it's beautiful. And the essence of it just feels yummy, yummy good. It really does. It feels comforting. It feels supportive.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Well, we've learned when you observe nature, Mother Nature at her best, it it works best undisturbed. And so while we have medical skills and we assess and we monitor baby and mom and we're always checking in, and you also have that intuitive sense working, a lot of our work is just knowing how to hold space and how to create safe space for the mom to relax and let her body take over and do what Mother Nature intended. It's not hard. Stay out of the way.
Now, how many people are in the room? Was there can she, like her husband?
It's up to each individual family.
The
mother will decide that.
Oh, okay.
I was at a birth Saturday.
Oh!
Beautiful home birth in Port Hueneme. And the mother had originally thought, well, I want my mom, my dad, my husband, my partner's mother, and my aunt. It ended up we reduced that a little bit in the moment, but her mom was there loving and supporting her, and dad they both reached down and caught and received the
Really?
And it was just flawless. It was just lovely. And it's a priceless memory, and they're all ecstatic, over the moon, happy. And of course, right after, all the rest of the family got to come in, and they too got to be a part of this new mom, dad, baby unit, and witness and support and love and protect.
That's outrageous. The grandfather got to catch the father
Yes.
got to catch his child.
Oh yes.
Oh,
He was so happy.
That's got to create a bond unlike anything else.
Yeah. It's an imprint. It's an imprint in your mind, your heart, your soul forever, and you're forever connected to that baby in a way you wouldn't otherwise be.
Oh my goodness. Now, so all right, does it ever get boring?
No. No.
Just between you and me.
No.
And the millions out there. Wait.
No, because it's the mystery. It's the magic. It's the unknown. It's the unpredictable. It's a flow. It's like riding a new river each time.
Oh.
You don't know what's around the corner, and you don't know how it's going to progress, and you don't know how she's going to experience this journey and this process. And so it's just uniquely beautiful every time.
Oh, that's so awesome. And I would imagine, because giving birth to life, I mean, just to get your mind around that it's a new life that you're bringing forward.
That is the honor that we women hold. That is the ultimate gift as a woman on planet Earth, that we have been given the gift to grow life, create life, birth life, feed and nurture life. There is no greater honor than that. It's a privilege, I guess, and it's not that we can't mother other children and support other women, but it's a unique, distinct, beautiful.
For sure.
Powerful. It's powerful when women are supported to be in their bodies and experience the full process, and it works. They're changed. They're empowered in a way that it's sort of like those people that brag about walking on fire.
Okay, yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, no, you can't touch this. I gave birth. I pushed my baby out. My own steam, my own way, my own power. It's very empowering.
I love what you said, that not only giving birth, but then to feed the child. And it just reminded me, like nature, we are complete.
Yes. It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
You can't birth a baby and not produce milk.
Isn't that something?
It's beautiful.
That just really hit me in a way. It's like, oh my God. It's the rose, the fragrance and the bouquet and the color all comes from within it. And so this birth, this child, you have the milk to feed it, to nourish it, for it to grow and to...
It's all there. Everything.
It's all beautiful. Now, are there different ways of giving birth? I mean, like I've heard about, what is it, the bathtub or the water?
Well, we love to make water available to women in labor, to use it as a comfort tool, to use it as a respite, a relaxation technique. it's medicinal. Water just has magical qualities. Every morning we're in that hot shower. Just go, thank you. And in labor, it has its magical qualities. So the women utilize the water. The warm water just envelops their body and allows them, facilitates that relaxation, which can make their labor easier, can make their labor progress more quickly.
Oh.
And many women often will remain in the tub and push their baby out in the tub. And the baby comes right up on their chest and is breathing and is still in the warm water. And so our goal isn't to birth any specific way, in water, out of water, or sitting up or squatting or on their hands and knees. It's finding the position, having the freedom and the support to allow that mom to find the position that works for her. That makes it efficient and doable, so that she's not, just running in place, not strapped to a machine in a bed in one position.
See, I'm so excited. There's millions of questions going on in here. Because the picture that I saw over there, a woman was actually on her hands and knees, and I was like, I didn't want to stare because the baby was coming out in the picture. But so there are different positions that you encourage the mother to find.
When you have back labor, that's often on your hands and knees. The best position to relieve that back labor. And so that was a position she chose to take some of the discomfort out of her low back. And when you allow the mom to follow her primal instincts, and to crouch in that position that works for her, generally you're going to have the best success.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Once again, as nature, because I've seen doggies give birth, and sometimes they're crouching in a squatting position. It's really amazing, because some people think of us as animals.
but if we look at nature, and you're talking about animals, where do they give birth best? Alone, secluded, not being stared at with bright lights.
This is true.
In a sterile environment, they find their little cave, their little safe zone. And if anyone comes in while they're trying to labor and birth, they flight. They stop.
Right.
Progress slows down. They wait for people to leave. And, many people are the same way. Now, some women are conditioned to be in the hospital, and that's comfortable for them. And that feels good to them, and they should.
Right.
But for women who don't feel that same way, there are safe options.
So now, with women that make this choice, because, when you look out, most families would be like, no, you go to the hospital. That's safe. Is there a particular age range that you find that there are more women that are younger that decide, I'd like to explore this? Or is it a little bit all over the map?
It's a little bit all over the map, but it's there's an awareness now, especially in women that do research. And that's the beauty of the internet.
Yes.
And, people start looking up birth options, alternatives, midwives, water birth, out of hospital birth. There's so much out there.
Wow.
And our families are well educated. I've had physicians give birth here.
Really?
Nurses give birth here.
Oh,
because,
my goodness.
They're educated, and
Right.
they know that, all right, if I need to go to the hospital, I can,
Right.
but I'm normal and low risk, and most of those things can be managed safely out of the hospital.
Absolutely. That
And
is
we
just
have-
so beautiful.
We were talking about positions, but we also have birth stools.
Stools?
Yeah, which is great. So we have one designed by the Dutch midwives, and then I have one that's wooden and lower, more squatty to the ground. Because sometimes you get, your legs get tired squatting. But those are beautiful. They're so, because you have gravity and your legs are supported, but you're not stuck in a bed laying down.
So, okay, how many women are just screaming out of their minds?
I don't know. It's out there. if you look for it, you have options and choices. That's the most important thing for, I think, women to know, is do your research. Do what's right for you.
Yes.
Listen to your mind, heart, intuitive gut feeling. That's almost always right.
That's always.
Listen to your gut. If it doesn't feel right, get a second opinion. Look for another option.
Yes.
Talk to other women.
That's really, now, do you induce any type of...
No, those are scenarios that we would transfer a
hospital.
mom into the hospital, because it's a lot more complicated and there's a lot more things to be monitored.
Ah, that's beautiful.
We don't use those interventions out of the hospital because they have many side effects or consequences that we want to be in a hospital setting for, should they occur.
That's beautiful. Now, how many years have you been doing this, if you don't mind?
Well over 38.
Oh, how beautiful. So, have you had some of the kids that you've delivered?
Have babies with me, yes.
Oh!
Yes, I've actually had 4 generations.
Really?
Just a couple times, but yes. That's how old I am, yes. It's beautiful because we know each other, and it's familiar, and it's generational, and it's very precious.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm going to show you some of the pictures. I'll take some pictures. This facility, it's not a facility. It's a home. It's a home that embraces love and joy and beauty. And just to see all the smiling little faces of the children and the mommies that have blessed this sacred space. That's what it feels like. This center feels sacred.
Yeah.
You know, I get that, the birth cave, that you have created this essence here in the heart of Ventura, California. Now, are you a native Californian?
I am. I grew up in Northern California on a farm.
Oh.
So I watched animals give birth as a young child and got very comfortable with the birth process and nursing, breastfeeding, and, watching goats and cows give birth and they're nursing their little
their youngs. Yeah. That really makes a difference.
It was normal.
Yeah, it wasn't this
emergency.
Right.
Frightening, terrifying.
Exactly. I mean, you got to see how life was co-creating and how it gave to you, because I'm sure your family, did you...
Well, how it works.
Yeah.
How it all works without us interfering. From rabbits to the cows, to the horses, to the sheep, to the goats. We had it all. But it works.
Yes.
And it was such an honor and such a majestic, glorious experience to be there, and to know that these animals had everything right there in that moment, in that space, without any of us. They just did it. And it was so healthy and so beautiful. And it's the same for women. Knowing, we do need the hospital at times.
Of course.
But not for 100% of the birthing population.
And that's what's so beautiful. I mean, for me, recognizing that this is the natural state for a woman to give birth in. We've made the hospital look like it's the natural state of giving birth. But as you're explaining it, I mean, it's so beautiful because our bodies facilitate everything. We are totally blessed with everything that we need. And if there aren't complications, what better place to be? I have not had children. My brother has 5. 5. It's like, what are you doing?
They're tired.
And I have to say, he is an amazing father. He was present with all 5 of his children. And to listen to him, but they were in the hospital, but he was in the hospital room, to listen to him talk about the birth of his kids. And he's my baby brother.
Yeah.
So it blew me away because he's always going to be my baby brother. But here was this man that talked about seeing the crowning of his first son, and being able to hold him right then and there. And I see the relationship he has with his kids, really, really amazing. And he was a young father. He was a young father. you make the beauty of pregnancy so beautiful. And we get lost when, the family dynamics of, oh, you're 18, you shouldn't have a child, you shouldn't have this, and some of that gets lost in what's actually taking place. And so I want to thank you for just expressing the beauty of how birthing,
Well, can I add in
Yes.
one more? So that's the other piece, is that when they give birth at home in their own environment, or here at the center where it's a home-like environment, it empowers them as parents, that they know what they're doing, that they're going to take care of their baby from the very moment it's born. And we're not worried about them or concerned they're not going to be able to do this.
Right.
And it cements that confidence in them, that they don't have to keep a feeding chart and a diaper chart and it's like, no, you got this.
Right.
We'll answer questions, we'll give you information, we'll support you, but just as you grew, labored, birthed, will feed, it really, birthing that way really empowers them as parents to feel confident and continue on that parenting journey.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
And I feel that it also, that old saying that it takes a village to raise a child, that then a family comes together more cohesively to support this life that they've all really given birth to. Really amazing thing. I want to take some pictures, and we will also have a link below for you to find out Karni's webpage. You can find out information, because the beauty that life brings to all of us, all of these amazing little people that, it's the whole solar system of life constantly going and expanding.
It's that circle.
Yeah.
And just as we now know to support when someone is passing,
Yes.
that it's beautiful, and you can involve the whole family, and you can do it the way you want and personalize it and make it meaningful to you. Same as entering a life.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I love that you connected the two, because sometimes I think we forget that. The beauty of life being birthed and the beauty of life transitioning to its next level. I don't know about you out there, but I believe in eternity, and that we are eternal. And so it's a beautiful process to have that transition. So in our closing, is there any I'm gonna say 1 to 3 births that always stick out in your mind, that when you think over the years that that's what comes up for you?
Sure.
And if so, why?
Well, first of all, birth is just continuously very humbling. It's just very humbling, because you never know it all. And, there are those births where you almost feel out of place. It's so perfect.
Wow.
Nature is so perfect, and this woman has just found her rhythm and her way, and her partner's with her, and they're solid, and that partner is their pillar, and you're watching this beautiful unit, and you just almost feel like you're contaminating this, and so and then there are the hard ones. A midwife sits with women through whatever it takes.
Really?
And there are hard ones, and there are challenging ones, and there are difficult ones. And there are cesarean births that are beautiful and necessary. So we sit with women through all of it. They're all extraordinary. I do have highlights, but it would be hard to pick. It's the reverence of, when Mother Nature works, we can improve it. And that honoring.
that right there. Mother Nature is in control. The beauty of Mother Nature. Watch it unfold.
across the bottom stair. You were braiding your gray hair. It had grown so long since I'd been gone. And the perfect girls by the pool, they would protest the cross around their necks, but our sons are overseas, and we all know about the hive and the honey bees. Almost home with an olive branch and a dove. You were beating on a Persian rug with your Bible and your wedding band, both hidden on the TV stand. When the cruel wind blew, every city farther fell off the county carousel, while the dogs were eating snow. All our sons had sunk in a trunk of Noah's clothes.
We are one. We hold a vision. Thank you for joining me on Pass the Mic.